Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. All right. Okay, that was quick. Let's just make sure and tap in. Okay. That one's working. It's this one. Yep. All right. Then we we good. Mine's came through.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good.
Yours good? Okay. All right. Shalom. Shalom.
Hey, shalom,
First and
shalom.
foremost. Hold on. Can you hear me, Akia?
Yeah, I can hear. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. So we got about a 4 second delay.
Let me let me try and drive off a little bit so I can get more connection because I think it's my connection. I got 2 bars.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
We'll wait for you.
Let me find. Yeah, let me do that. You can go ahead. We can salute and I'll
Go
just
into
move
it.
around
Okay. Come.
until I get more bars. Yeah.
Okay. Come. All right. All right. So Shalom. First
Hey,
and foremost,
shalom,
I'd like to
shalom.
give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh,
Power,
Bahasham, Yahweh, Hashem, Makah, HaKodash. And double honors to the beloved apostles and elders of Great Millstone, better known as GMS, who rule well and teach well. Peace and salutation unto the hopeful elect, the tabernacle of David, beginning with the 144,000 and the rest of the men, women, and children out of the 12 tribes whom Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai will ultimately have mercy upon in these last days. All right. And I'm your brother Matizatba from GMS Melbourne, Australia. Joining me is the beloved brother Yashar.
Hey, shalom, Akim Yabashin Shabrakatan.
All right. And we are Great Millstone, Australia. All right. And this lesson is entitled Australia's one of 2 biggest refinery up in smoke. All right. So to you, Akim, in the States who are just waking up right now and just tuning in, you probably are just hearing about what's happened within the last 24 hours here in Victoria, where one of their biggest oil refineries blew up in smoke. Now, I have here, as you see on the screen, just going to get right into it. I'm going to play this video in the background. All right. This is from Channel 9 News here in Australia. And
can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, beautiful. I'm just let me see how many bars I can get, and then
all good.
I'll find somewhere to park. So I'm getting
okay.
through
Come
right now. Getting through.
Take your time.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to jump into this this news story because this just happened. You know, people say coincidence much? No. And this, mind you, this is happening right in the midst of the war that's going on over there in the Levant region between Israel, US, and Iran. All right. So when you look at a country like Australia, which we, those of you who watch our lives, every chance that you get, you'll notice that we've been saying that Australia as a whole, this nation is like the center point for testing out their new world order agenda. All right. And they showcased that even going all the way back to DVOC 19, if you get what I'm saying, back in 2020. All right. So what we're planning to get out of this is we're going to show you, okay, the craftiness that these devils have implemented. All right. And me and the brother was speaking. Whatever we get through today, we get through, but more than likely we may have to do a part 2 because there's so much to keep up and it's a lot of information. So we just going to tap right into it. I'm going to play the video right now. And just give me a thumbs up in the chat. Let me know if you brothers and sisters watching in can hear the video.
paradox of the petrol pump. Despite ongoing global uncertainty and squeezed domestic supply sparked by the refinery blaze, fuel prices are falling. But the relief might be temporary. The Treasurer warning tough times are ahead.
Apocalyptic scenes at Australia's worst-timed petrochemical disaster. But the Prime Minister says there's no need to panic.
80% of diesel production is continuing. 80% of aviation fuel is continuing.
However, the spectacular blaze at Viva Energy's oil refinery in Geelong has knocked out 40% of its petrol production.
Any shortfalls in production, we're very confident that we can cover that with our import program, which is quite substantial.
In Queensland, home to Australia's only other refinery, plans announced for a third in Gladstone.
I believe Australia can control our own destiny. Never again should we be in this position.
We've got to get more oil out from under the ground. We've got to drill.
A fortnight of fuel diplomacy from the PM has delivered agreements for an extra 100 million litres of fuel, or about 1 day's worth of supply.
We're starting to get up closer towards 40 days of petrol. So these are good trends.
Indonesia promising 250,000 tonnes of urea fertiliser, a fifth of what's needed by farmers for the winter crop.
Australia's fuel supplies in the most difficult and risky circumstances internationally are being managed as well as they possibly can be across government and industry.
Prices are not affected by what happens in Australia. Global factors determine what we pay at the bowser.
The price of unleaded dipping below $2 a litre at many servos across the nation. This independent in Perth offering fuel for just under $1.85, 12 cents cheaper than the major down the road. But the economic shock from the Iran war will be so sizable, it's trimmed government appetite for major economic reform in next month's budget. Treasurer Jim Chalmers' ambition cruelled by the times.
The consequences of this conflict on the other side of the world are already very serious for Australians, and they risk becoming severe.
Andrew Probin, 9 News.
If you're a coach or a consultant,
you can see we don't need none of that. But basically, for what they've stated, just in a nutshell, is the fact that since this is happening within the last 24 hours, they, through the investigation, which just started this evening, all right, and they're going to wait till the morning because right now it's 10 p.m. our time here, Friday night. So they're going to wait till Saturday morning to run the investigation. But basically what they said on the news today was there was nothing found to be tampered with. So they don't believe that it was tampered with. They don't believe that it was any foul play going on. They most likely stated that it had to do with old equipment. All right. Now let's use them. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, like, that's crazy though. You know what I mean? Like, so they had all equipments for a long ass time, right? But then those old equipments somehow they decide to break in the middle of this fuel crisis.
Exactly. Now, remember, Aqua, you came out here last year to visit, and we was driving on a Western Ring Road, and I showed you on the right side the warehouse that made it on the news that burnt down.
Yeah.
Right. Now, what's so intricate with this situation is that warehouse was a pure example of something went wrong, because when the occupational health and safety was investigated, they found out that they have pushed off nearly 2 years of not keeping up to date the equipment. And so finally, what ended up happening was the reason for that warehouse catching fire was because it was found that, damn, hey, the equipment was supposed to be changed over. All right. But it never got to it. Whereas this, you're talking about, as the brother said, this is an oil refinery. Their shit has to be top notch.
It got to be.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for you to work in such a vicinity as a refinery, you talk about the safety measures are through the fucking roof. Right? To the point where they have what's called here, because I had a mate at work, And he told me, because he has some inside scoop. He said he got a friend that actually work inside, and he was like, yo, they called off the maintenance crew 2 months in advance. They told the maintenance crew, don't even bother showing up.
Mm-hmm.
So what am I saying here? I'm saying a refinery such as that, being one of the biggest here in Victoria, and with their security measures and their safety protocols through the fucking roof, they have on-call maintenance crew every single day on that plant. Every single day. Right? But now, doing too much talking, you got a precept?
Yeah, I had what is it's like a 2 Corinthians 2:11.
Okay.
We always we always read this precepts, okay, to go with the agenda of this devil, how certain things you see taking places in the news sometimes. You really have to discern those things. You have to discern those things, and basically read the spirit, okay, like what's going on, also always understanding what the will of the Heavenly Father Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is, which the will of the Heavenly Father Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is his prophecies being fulfilled, okay.
Yep.
And for his prophecy to be fulfilled, we know that he's gonna use Esau, okay, to push the New World Order agenda, to where it's that the New World agenda is gonna leave the whole world in chaos, okay, citizens being squeezed, to where certain citizens or certain people are gonna bow down to Esau, and also for the elect of Yahweh Hashem Shah to be tried in the midst of this chaos that this devil is going to bring upon earth, but it's all works of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11 says, let Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So we can't let this devil basically outsmart us, or run games on us, try do certain things, and we looking in the air or looking on TV like, oh my God, how what the fuck, how that happened? Damn, we in the midst, we in the middle of a few crashes, and this shit just blows up. Oh shit, that's crazy. Nah, we're not doing that. We know who was behind that, because there's no fucking way, man. There's and this has been going on for a minute. There was another warehouse that got put on fire over there in Toronto, in California, something like that. But the reason why these things are happening is because Esau is running out of time, and he's basically trying to run his agenda, okay, by causing chaos worldwide, making you people really go through it, okay. So it says, let's say to gain the advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. When you look up the word devices, goes into evil schemes, evil plan, and that evil plans of his is the Agenda 30.
Yep.
Okay, and the Agenda 2030 is what we basically coming into right now, because I believe C19, that was Agenda 2025. Wasn't it an agenda before 2030?
Yeah, it was the agenda
2020, right?
2020. Yep.
Yeah, so C19, that was Agenda 2020. We overpassed that. He used to take that shit off. It went accordingly in his in his books, because a lot of things changed from then, since since then, and now we're in 2026. So this devil trying to hurry up before 2030. Okay, so his agenda can be already set in.
That's right.
But on top of that, I believe that they're moving too fast, because the internet is steady always exposing him.
Yep.
So they have to hurry up. They have to hurry up and look, and do what they're doing right now. But them moving quickly is the Heavenly Father Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, moving them pursuant to the book of Matthew 24 and 22. For the sake of the elect. You know,
Yeah, the days shortened. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So to where these devil eventually, him moving so fast, out of control, he's gonna what's the word? Okay, he's gonna get, basically, he's gonna get caught lacking.
Yeah.
You know, like you mentioned in the video you sent me, you said people, you know, when you gonna play those videos, you're gonna see for yourself that these devils getting caught lacking. Everybody knows your fucking your you know how you got those hot machines. Everybody knows that you got these you got that equipment you use over there in Hawaii, to where you can
Yep.
take us in places and be like, oh shit, yeah, we had issue. The service wasn't done for at least 5 years or 6 years. That's why that shit blew up. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So we, you know, I'm gonna read that one verse in NLT one more time, Akil.
Okay.
So that Satan we know outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes, and that evil schemes is his it goes into his agenda, the agenda 2020, agenda 2030, and then there's more agendas. There's more agendas of his, and those, and all those agendas are all equal to the New World Order.
Yeah.
You know, so that was the piece I want to you know, bring up for that.
I got one. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 and verse 10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Okay. And see, we've been telling, especially 2/3 of our people, we've been sounding the alarm, starting with the apostles on down. Okay. And we're warning you and telling you the things that are coming upon the planet Earth. Okay. As the scripture says in 2nd Esdras, the plagues are being shot back and they can't return. Okay. The plagues are being shot. Famine. All right. Storehouses, shortages of food. Okay. Because see, this is a global, they're declaring this as energy global lockdown, worse than COVID. Remember, Bill Gates said, if what happened in 2020 didn't capture your attention, this next pandemic will capture your attention.
That's right. Yeah, he said it.
All right. So
and Klaus too.
Yeah,
no, I was
yeah.
gonna
That's
say
right.
he said and Klaus.
Yep. And so, cause see, you ain't got to worry about going to the doctor, this, that, and the third. What you got to worry about is you finna lose your job, because if you don't have an office job where you can work from home, you about to feel it, right?
Mm-hmm.
They finna start putting in provisions and measures, clamping down on people buying gasoline, petrol, diesel, right? Then you got to worry about the global famine. All right, the fertilizer, the farmers are not getting the fertilizer, which means you got about a 5 to 6 months window for your crops to come into season. Okay. Yep. So now that's going to cause people to do what? Panic buying. Okay. That's Revelation what? 6 and 8 or 9, where it talks about the measure of a barley and measure of wheat, meaning you're going to wake up one day and say, damn, do I go and fuel up my car and pay the $150 to $200 for a full tank? If it's diesel, you're looking at damn near $400 or $500 per tank.
Yeah, I got that precept for you, Aki, real quick.
Bring it out.
This is the book of Revelation chapter 6 and verse 6. It says I'm gonna read this in King James version and also in Amplify. It says in a head of voice in the midst of the it's like in a head of a voice in the midst of the four beasts say a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hast not the oil or the wine.
Right, because see, again, that also goes into 2nd Esdras chapters 15 and 16. Okay, because there's going to be a famine. All the plagues that Yahweh Shemel Shah spoke through the servants, the prophets, they're coming to pass. But you're going to be in dire straits because you're going to have to make a decision on what's more affordable. Okay, because it ain't like they're raising up your income, your wages to meet the inflation, which we're going into hyperinflation. Matter of fact, they spoke on the news about stagflation or something to that effect. They said if we get to that stage, it's over with. Put a fork in it.
That's right.
you know. But then it goes on and says, the brother read, see thou hurt not the oil and the wine, which represents this knowledge. Okay, because see, this truth is still going out, but you can see if you're paying attention to the signs, there's a small window of that grace period. All right, because we understand Amos 8:11 tells us what? There's also going to be a famine of the word. So as things are starting to ramp up, all right, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is shutting this place down.
This shit's already shut down for sure, though.
Oh yeah, it's over with.
Cause the other day, man, I was I think on my way driving here to Sydney, you know, I was listening to so many lessons. It was 7 hours drive, and I was tuning into all the the lessons, live lessons, recent lessons as well, and man, like they're ready to shut down travel, travels, airlines, and also and I tapped into saying news of Australia, man. They say you want to fly from your where you are, Melbourne, your main airport. If you want to fly from Melbourne, from your main airport, going to one of the little city within Victoria, another city within Victoria, they're gonna start cutting off those little cities, man. That was within the news. They were basically saying like, they were saying like those little towns where they have little airports that sent this airline this big airline are talking about they're gonna cut down their flights. No more flying to small towns, small it's like not towns but small cities within the state. Like example, where I'm from in Queensland, some idiots, literally some idiots fly from Brisbane to Gold Coast. I'm like, what? Which to me, I'm like, bro, get on the fucking car and drive. It's like an hour and something. But again, you know how ISO is. So they have flights, going from Brisbane to the to Gold Coast Airport, and that's literally about 20, 30 something minute, right?
Yeah.
So Issa's talking about he's gonna shut those little town, those flights are gonna be cut out in a minute, and what they're using is what we're going into the shortage of fuel.
Yep.
Flying to certain areas where it's not really benefiting the economy, or not the economy, but basically benefiting the economy. If you're in a rural area and you gotta fly to those rural area, guess what? You're gonna be shut off. They don't want that no more.
Total control.
You have your because you do have certain people here in Australia, not just Australia but worldwide, people that own their little small airplanes.
Yeah, private jets.
Them shit about to be cut off. Because they want to be able to track everything to where it's all controlled, man.
Right. And throughout this lesson, we're going to show you that, because here in Australia, they have what's called a 4-stage national energy reserve plan. And it's pretty much similar to what they had doing back in COVID, right? Where we had lockdown state. We had stage 1 all the way up until stage 4. And stage 4, that was the worst, because if you remember, here in Melbourne was the worst than any other state, because stage 4, we was only allowed maximum 2 hours outside the house, except for if you had to go to work. And even if you did have to go to work and it was more than 5 kilometers from your house, you had to show the police a permit just to leave the crib. Outside of going to the grocery store.
That was called essential workers.
Essential workers.
Right? You had to be doing jobs that benefits the the government or benefits the people, like basically like people service, man. If your job is really benefiting the the whole the economy, and also if you're working for a big corporation, you working. But if people that own like little businesses, they weren't fucking doing shit.
Nope.
Little businesses was kicked out, man.
Yep. Shut down. Just like that. you know. And see, the thing is, if you was arguing with your family back then because you ain't take the serpent juice, okay, what you think is finna happen now when your lights get cut off, when they tell you at the fuel pump you can only put $40 in there, which $40 is only going to get you right out of the car park and right back in. That's where we headed. That's exactly what we headed. So you thought you had problems during COVID. You ain't seen nothing yet with this energy lockdown that's finna come. People finna lose their damn mind.
Man, Issa wants a full fucking. When we say, man, people are like, "Oh, you guys are conspiracy theory." Like those fucking idiots from IHPK. Yeah, we don't want to hear about this conspiracy theory. Wait, them niggas gotta wait until Issa really brings in this full I'm talking about full control, man. Like, yeah, nigga, you go to the gas station, yeah, you can only buy where's American, but they go by gallon. Yeah, man, you can only buy 4 or 5 gallon. That's it.
Yeah.
So who the fuck is going to be conspiracy theory then?
That's right.
Because those 5 gallons they're gonna really take you to the places Jack be, this individual be going, back and forth to, man. You're not gonna be able to travel from state to state to go to your family members.
That's right. Yep. Absolutely right.
Can I get a quick precept out here?
Yeah, go for it.
This is the book of Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse let me see. This is the book of Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 5. Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, and he's going into Easter's philosophy. That's how this devil gets around. So he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Who in Elijah if his desires hell, and we've seen this right here. The full control he wants, man. It's like, come on, man. What else do you want? Now, what else do you want? What else are you gonna do, man? This devil in a minute is about to control how many times you can go to the bathroom, bro.
Yeah.
How many times you can flush the water in the bathroom? That shit, bro. That system is already out here.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
There's a shortage of water. How?
Because this devil running it. That's why.
Yeah, bro. Like, it's crazy. It says, neither keep it at home, who enlargeth his desires hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. Right?
See?
It says, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And that's what the black brother was saying. That that's what is trying to basically that's what Issa is basically trying to get to, to where you're gonna be full control like the C19 era,
Yep.
everything's really gonna be tracked down. Like we're talking about tracked down, like hey, remember was that Gate and Klaus who gave credit to China how they're running their system over there? Yeah. We brought that out in one of our live lessons. It was Klaus Schwab who said China was the blueprint to how they want the rest of the world to run. And I was talking about, because China right now, they got 6G. Most of their people are already digitalized with tokens, so they already using transactions. They also already have where you go to make a transaction, you scan the palm of your hand or your forehead. They've already got that technology established over there in different parts of China. The difference is it's just not being outlined in mainstream media. All right, because you had a woman by the name of Catherine Austin Fitz, who I always bring out in my lessons. She went and said this about 5 years ago during the COVID. She said what the elites are trying to do, they're trying to separate everything, because if they put everything close together, everybody will be able to figure it out. Right? They don't care about the ones like us, the prophets and everything else like that know, right? But they'll have a bigger problem on their hand if the masses of the people actually knew what was going on behind closed doors. That's the point they don't want to get to. They can deal with the 1% that may know, right? But if you have like 70, even so much as
60% of people that really know what's going on, they be through.
Mm-hmm. And that's why, you know how what is it, Junior C19, like when you go back, whenever you post something that was true about those jump shots, ISO will leave like a little article or little link saying, oh, this is a misinformation, click on this right here, go tap into it, read about it. So what is that, misinformed, is that how you say it?
Misinformation, yeah.
So so click on this here, so being lied to, somebody's not spreading false information onto you. And then even there's another one that Australia started doing in Europe, to where that if you speak on the New World Order, they will leave a whole Wikipedia what the New World Order is really about, and they will say it's conspiracy theory.
That shit, that shit lame as hell, man. As hell.
You see what I'm saying? And there's a reason why ISO is doing that, just to make the truth look like it ain't the truth, to make the truth look like it's crazy.
Yeah. Yep. All right. You got anything else?
No, that was it.
Okay.
That appreciate, that was it right there. Let me see something. Let me get can I get Isaiah 10:1 real quick?
Okay.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. It says, "Woe unto him that decree unrighteousness decree." All right, it's like, "Woe unto him that decree unrighteous decrees, that while giving it which they have prescribed." And this is going into who Esau. Okay, him passing these laws of his. Okay, which is it's this agenda that he's pushing. That that agenda that he's pushing is not right. It's false. It's a false agenda, because it's not going to benefit any of us. It's not going to benefit any human being here, man. It doesn't even benefit animals.
Yep.
It doesn't benefit anything that have a living spirit in it. All these laws that this devil is pushing is to destroy, is to take you out.
It's funny because Jake. Go ahead, because I want to touch on that.
Are you gonna add more to it?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
You finish.
okay, yeah, it says and then it says here, right, to turn aside the needy from from judgment, which is the needy represent the Israelites, and to take away the wrath from the poor of my people, that widows might be their prey, that they might rob their fathers. And that's going into our people, to where like even when we speak the truth unto our people, it's will turn around and put us in some type of a craziest category of sick individuals out there.
Yep.
Then we take that, and that's him taking away. That's him taking the right, the right from the Israelites, of them knowing what's good for them. He'll come in and just take the little righteousness that Jake is getting, take it away and make it seem like it's fucking crazy through his fucking laws, man.
Yep. That's Isaiah 10:1 and 2. Yep.
And then even there's another precept that you always bring out. Is that Psalms 94?
Yeah. Who framing mischief by law?
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly what they do.
Because this whole agenda of his is basically is basically really laws being changed, or draconian measurements being introduced.
Yeah. Whoa. We got to mention that, because remember, for those of you brothers in the States who don't know, Australia just dropped a bomb on us back in February, which is only passed through the House of Representatives. It's known as the ACO bill, which I think I did a lesson on about a week ago. And basically, that bill is going into is known as the questionable power. So now they have the police have the right to question you on any grounds without a warrant. So if they come to your doorstep, they knock on the door, they don't need a warrant to come up in there and grab you up and take you down for questioning. If you do not comply with answering their questions, that can earn you up to 5 years in prison.
Yep.
Okay. So just to back up the brother when when he talks about draconian measures, man. All right, what's that? The dragon spake things. What's that? Revelation 13. Where it talk. Let me get it real. Because this is the time that we in. Right.
Yeah, because in a minute nobody's gonna be able to speak. You know what they want to speak about, man.
Yep.
You know, that's why we say get the truth while you can, because what you're gonna be left out there with is gonna be, you know, nothing but fucking GMO doctrine, man, just GMO teachings, you know.
Yeah. This is Revelation 13:11. It says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. All right. Now the horns represents power. The two power systems that goes into back then in ancient Rome, it was the plebeians and the patricians. And today, all right, it's the same system, but it's known as the Democrats and the Republic. Out here in Australia, that's known as the Labor Party or Liberal Party. It's the same thing, right? Democrat, Republic, Labor, Liberal, it's the same shit, right? But it says, and spake as a dragon, right? Now, back then in Rome, okay, you had a dude by the name of, what was his name? Dracon, if I'm pronouncing it right. And he was known, hold on, let me get the Google. All right, we got to fact check everything over here. All right. Why is my stuff like that? Hold on, Salakia.
No, you get why you get that preset, and I also want to back you out because you do have individual people. Oh, but yeah, that was the ancient Roman Empire, man. It didn't talking about today. Nah, let's check. You know, that's not so. This book of Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9 says, the thing that have been is that it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there's no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it might be said, see, this is new? It's like it have been already of all time which was before us. So
that's right.
Time is repeating itself. The ancient oh shit, hold up. We live in the revival of the ancient Roman Empire, man.
Yep. God, the waters of
the back over here doing the same thing that they were doing back then, but not in our time now. This way of the way this beast is speaking, or the dragon is speaking, is really being spread to the four corners of the earth, man. That whole Democrat and Republican is onto the four corners of the earth.
That's right.
You know, Australia. Hey, whenever we get a new prime minister come in, it's either liberal or labor, right?
Yeah, labor, liberal. Yep.
Yeah, when you break those two, when you break them or look into it, one of them is like Republican and one of them is like fucking Democrat.
That's right.
You know, that's just an example of Australia, but this is a worldwide thing, man. No worldwide thing, but it's the percentage the percentage of it is high.
Okay.
You know, the philosophy of the ancient, it's like that philosophy of the of the beast system is worldwide, man. It's being pushed worldwide, and the nations who don't want to be down with it, we know that you've seen what Esau does.
Yeah, the scripture says, to make an image of the beast. All right, and that's the image, right? This is the image. The image goes into from his laws, his architecture, his way of life. Okay, that's why you had something back then that was known as the not to digress too much, but spirit is making me go there. You had something back then known as the Treaty of Rome. This is what allowed for them to bring that ancient Roman life to revive it. Okay, America became the revival of ancient Rome. Okay, and we're living in Rome 2.0 all over again. But real quick, when you go into it, this is draconian. It says draconian refers to laws, rules, or actions that are excessively harsh, severe, or cruel. It says the term is commonly used to describe over-the-top punishments or strict policies. That's Esau. That's exactly what he does. It says originating from Draco, all right, as the Zaquan put up earlier, beloved Elder Ariah. It says a 7th century BC Athenian lawmaker known for a legal code that punished minor offenses with death. It often describes oppressive, strict, or heavy-handed measures. Now, to back that up, can you get Revelation 13? I believe you drop down to verse 15.
Yep. This is the book of Revelation chapter 13 and verse 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Yep. And when you go into that word kill, because what they're about to do with this system, they're either going to what's that guy's name? Yuval Harari, he said it. They're going to create what's known as surveillance under the skin, which that was code for they're going to introduce the microchip. Now, his own words, he said in this clip that I got, he said basically, if you don't comply with the new rules that we're bringing in, you're going to be excommunicated out, all right, of society. Now, the flip part of that, what they're not telling you, last year, they announced was known as Project Esther. Look that up. And then Project Esther is specifically states that when they, Salakia, bring in the chip, the surveillance under the skin, that basically anybody who won't accept it, A, you're either going to be cut off from society, or B, they're pretty much going to lead you to a concentration camp and you're going to be unalived. That's in Project Esther. So everything that the beloved Elder Apostle Tahar on down have been telling us, guess what? We're here. Ain't no more knocking at the door. Door is wide away, is wide fucking open right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But you got it. You got it. Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say when you look up that word killed, right? In a G, it's like in the etymology word of it. It says G575 is apple. It says of separation, a local separation after verbs of motion from place, i.e., of departing or fleeing. It says of separation of part from the whole, or whereof some is taken, of any kind of separation from one thing from another, which by the union or fellowship of the two is destroyed. A state of separation that is of distance, physical or distance of place, temporarily of distance of time, origin of the place whence anything is comes before is taken. And that's going when you go into that word killed. So when when you go into the strong definition of it, it's apple and goes into you being separated. So if you don't bow down to the new system, Issa's gonna, like you said, Aki, he's gonna X you out. He's gonna separate leave you being X'd out, part of you no longer belong to his new order he's bringing. And the way if you get caught out there, you don't have your verification, your identifications, you're gonna be thrown into jail because you're gonna be an alien,
Yep.
a stranger, a foreign.
Yep.
And you wonder why Australia's been pushing out digital ID, register, into this new digital ID. The government registered under the government, with the government ID, driver's license is all digital now. Medicare, all them things right now is all digital.
Yep. Absolutely, man. And it's gonna get worse. Jake think we playing around. You got anything else before I get into the next video?
Oh no. That was it for me, Aki.
Okay, come. All right. So going in now, this next video. This is from this is fair use. All right, this is fair use. This is from Neil McCoy Ward. He brings out some very good information from time to time. And basically he's going to go into what's being planned down here in the land down under. All right, so I'm gonna just get into it.
Was leaked. One of them was published today by each government. Both countries' governments are now modeling. They say they're actively modeling. This is a declaration that has been made that they are modeling the worst case scenarios for the country, for the economy, and for citizens. And we know what they mean when they say measures. They are talking about energy lockdowns. We'll cover Australia in the first part of the video, and then we'll cover New Zealand in the second part of the video. But let me tell you the official name of the declaration from New Zealand. This is called the Fuel Response Plan 2026 Overlay, and it's in response to measures that they put in place in 2024 for this worst case scenario. Now, when you read that report and when you actually look at some of the things they've said, it's weird to me that they knew this was coming, have no refinery capabilities, and yet they didn't do what the IEA said, which was to have an emergency stockpile of energy fuels. If you're from New Zealand, drop a comment below. How on earth has this happened? And if you missed Wednesday's video, it's way too long to recap all of it here, but it was about these energy lockdown scenarios that have been published by the IEA, and they've gone out to governments all around the world who are now actively modeling and preparing for what they say are energy lockdowns.
Again, what did Kill Gates say? If the first pandemic didn't get your attention, the next one certainly will. Right? Let's continue.
And I want to quote from their official guidance, okay? It says, and I quote here, "These energy lockdowns would be far more severe than anything we saw during the COVID lockdowns." That's from the International Energy Agency, who created this report, which is called Sheltering from Oil Shocks. And remember what they have recommended in their report. They have recommended to governments around the world.
So let me do this so y'all can really see it. All right, let's do this. Hold on, give me a second. All right. So you see the outline, sheltering from oil stocks. So you got encourage public transport use, alternate day car access in big cities, work from home, lower highway speed limits to save on fuel energy, right? Increase car sharing, right? So Uber about to skyrocket, taxis about to skyrocket, drive commercial vehicles efficiently, switch to alternative modern cooking solutions. You see this bullshit? Free up LPG from transport for cooking, be flexible with petroleum feedstocks, and avoid air travel if alternatives exist.
Hey, and what was I saying before? That Australia's already limiting, like, flights.
Yep.
Man, I wish I could find the news video, man. I should have sent to you when you were sending me those videos so we could, tap into it. But man, they're really onto it, man, and they're serious, super fucking serious, man.
Yep, very serious. But let's continue.
That lockdown measures go into place. And again, I'm quoting directly from these reports. This is work from home measures that could go on for months. It's reducing global air travel by a minimum of 40%. This would be mandated. How exactly they're going to enforce that, I'm not sure. But this was another one. They also talked about banning leisure travel. So that means flights, trains, cars, even public transport, if it is for leisure purposes. And we're already seeing some of these things happening in different countries right now. In the Philippines, they've declared a state of emergency. In South Korea, they're alternating which days who can drive. You're seeing emergency measures in all sorts of countries as they are running out of energy. And Australia and New Zealand, the reason we're focusing on these two countries today is because they are going to be the worst hit. And I'll even break down why that is. I'll go into all the details for.
That's pretty much all we need from him. But no, let's get a correct, understanding. Basically, the reason why Australia and New Zealand as a whole is going to be the worst hit is because they are pretty much the centerfold of the New World Order. Okay, they're the guinea pigs, the ones that is test. All right, you do the test runs here, you see how the people go for it, and then you bring it on a global scale on how you're going to run it, and that's what they've been doing. So now, I'll get this last one, and then I'll get the what's the name. We can finish off with precepts, but this is we don't need that one. Now, I sent this to the brother earlier today. All right, and this is from BitChute. Now, this is what was found. They found the MQ-4C Triton airplane that was traveling from Northern Territory, Darwin, all the way down here in Victoria, where the Geelong refinery caught fire. Now, this plane pretty much doesn't have any DEW, which stands for direct energy weapons, on it, but mainly what it's used for is to scope out the actual area to where they want to use the weapon. Now, if any of you brothers have been paying close attention to the situation over there with the Strait of Hormuz, you will know that one of these planes actually got shot down about a week and a half ago by Iran when Trump tried to pull that bullshit by sending one of the planes over there to try to fuck up one of their ships, and it failed miserably, right? So check this out. We'll play this. Let's do this. Let's take this back, Salakia.
So this is a follow-up video to the Viva Energy fires in Geelong overnight, and shout out to Johnsy, who's found some very suspicious activity on Flight Tracker. So basically, these MQ-4C Tritons are unmanned aerial military drones, and there's only 3 of these in the whole of Australia, and they're used for intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, and targeting, which I'll get to. So you've got to ask yourself, why is 1 of 3 aircraft flying down from Darwin and then doing a flyby past Geelong and hanging around at the time of this very suspicious fire at one of our last 2 fuel refineries? So the other aircraft here on Flight Tracker is the Gulfstream Peregrine. And again, this is used in intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, and electronic warfare. So these aircraft themselves don't have these laser direct energy weapons, which I'll get to in just a second, but they are used for marking targets and precise coordinates for other laser-guided munitions. Now, I just want to play a couple of short clips by Greg Reese, who explains how these direct energy weapons work really well.
For decades, directed energy weapons have been classified, but they have been on the public record for several years now. Directed energy weapons, known as DEWs, have the ability to burn homes with this sort of precision. But in order to be this precise, the area would have to be mapped out. In January of this year, green lasers were seen over Hawaii, which could best be described as a geospatial array for mapping terrain. We have seen that among the ashy ruins, there are blue-colored objects that have somehow survived the devastation. Blue cars, blue umbrellas, a blue boat, blue planters. Videos online are going viral that show how lasers can easily burn through certain colored objects, but objects that are colored blue remain unharmed.
So these are the same weapons that a lot of people suspect the Maui fires, the California fires, and even the Aussie fires in 2019 were started, where we see, you know, just suspicious activity like metal that's melted, and then blue objects like those umbrellas that are just untouched, right? So pretty suspicious stuff. And there's one more clip I want to play here that kind of relates to how those other military aircraft can be used for targeting, and then the actual laser weapons can either be fitted to other aircraft or be done from satellites.
Steve Favis is an expert in computer science and advanced robotics. He has been researching the Maui fires and has compiled evidence that the technology exists to have started these fires from a satellite in Earth orbit. He has also confirmed that the CCP had satellites capable of doing so above Maui at the time of the fires.
So the other thing that's really interesting to note here is last week, one of these Triton aircraft went missing over in the Middle East in the war, and it was only yesterday that the US confirmed that this is lost. So what do you guys think about all this? Is that very suspicious, just another coincidence, or have you been down this rabbit hole before and you're aware of these laser energy weapons that can be used to start fires and destroy civilian infrastructure? Let me know.
Civilian infrastructure, all right? Now, what we're saying...
It's like it's crazy because on my way to Sydney, there was I drove through some bushfire, man.
No, are you serious?
Yeah, because when I put the address on the map, they were trying to make me go through into the rural area, but I was like, no, ain't no fucking way I'm going through rural area. You know, it's like 3 hours longer. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna use the regular way. And then it says bushfire. There's bushfire taking place. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm driving, and I start getting to those area, and you can smell the burning. You can smell the burning. Like there was like a bushfire somewhere, and then even in my GPS, it says my GPS. It said it gave me warning that there's like bushfire somewhere around us, something like that,
Yep.
So as we were speaking about that, I just went on Google right now, typing bushfires in New South Wales, and she's showing, man. Like,
Damn.
yeah, like there was bushfire yesterday, man. Like, and there's nothing right now.
Yeah, see? That's what it is, man. All right.
Damn.
So now to pretty much finish this off, I found here our national fuel security plan, because remember in the video, all right, the guy mentioned that New Zealand, they called theirs national fuel security plan as well. And this is the one here in Australia. Now, just to let me do this real quick so you brothers can see it. All right. Now, basically, just a quick read. It says global conflict is causing an unprecedented shock to global oil and gas supply, pushing up fuel prices for Australian consumers and businesses. And the global outlook remains unpredictable and volatile. And while Australia is in a secure position currently, it's the responsibility of all governments to plan for every scenario, right? Problem, reaction, solution, basically is what they're saying in a nice way. That's basically what the fuck that is. But when you come down here, it gives you levels, because there's levels to this, all right? Remember, we always tell you, brothers, and the few sisters that watch us, Esau goes by what's known as gradualism, right? Let me get that real quick. All right. When you type in gradualism, okay.
Gradualism.
All right. It says a policy of gradual reform rather than sudden change or revolution. Okay. So basically, to round that off, to give you an even more simplified answer, it's a sequence of steps before they hit the main goal, because they don't want to just be in your face like, hey, bitch, this is what the fuck we doing. Nah, you know what I'm saying? Nah, that's not how he get down. All right. It's levels to this. So what he'll do is, like, give you an example. Everybody right now in 2026, they're used to paying via way of what? Apple Pay, Google Pay, your wallet, right? Whereas 10, 15 years ago, you was going to the ATM, taking out cash, and you was giving cash.
That's right.
But now they got you with the Apple Watch. You just ding, right? Or you get your phone, tap and pay. That's called gradualism, because gradually they're training you to get ready for the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip.
Yeah, like today, I went to get some. I was looking for some prune juice, and I went to this organic marketplace. It's like a little private joint owned by this European dude, and these nigga came. He was buying some stuff, right? And I don't know if he was lying to the owner, bro. This nigga said my phone is dead, man. I can't pay you, but I'll come back tomorrow. I'ma pay you, but my phone is dead. And I'm like, damn nigga, you don't fucking carry your credit card on you. You don't carry cash on you. What the fuck?
Yep. See,
I was like, man, if I was in my head, I'm like, if I was the owner, man, I would literally tell you, man, look, man, go home. You got another hour to go, bro. Come and get your stuff, cause what if I don't see you tomorrow, nigga? You taking $50 worth of my shit?
yeah, dude told that nigga go home, charge up, cuz, and come back. Charge up, cuz, and then come
bro.
back. Oh,
yeah,
bro. Yep.
Crazy.
So coming back here now, this is interesting because remember they got leveled. Now I don't know how, but 2 weeks ago we was good. I ain't even know we was already on level 1, which is plan and prepare. Now we this is, as you see highlighted right here, current status. We're on level 2, which means keeping Australia moving. So it says fuel supply continues to operate effectively, but localized supply disruptions occur. Hence the refinery catching on fire last night. Now they're saying diesel is at about 80%, but due to the fire, now petrol is at a 60% or maybe lower than that. So it says what you need to know. The government is taking precautionary actions to shore up fuel supply. Only buy the fuel you need, make voluntary choices to use less, and avoid the impact of higher fuel prices. Now, you ain't going to be able to do that because majority of people, they work at least 20 to damn near 40 kilometers outside of where they actually live. So that's going to be in a hard rock and a hard place. Then you got the truckies, right? So if the trucks look, they showed you that a year ago what happened with Canada when they did the protest with all those truckies, and the country came to a complete stop. So this is showcasing to be a complete disaster if the truck stops. And I've said this even at camp. It's a domino effect, which means the shoreline where the dockies load up, the trucks can't bring them in because diesel is costing them. So now whatever is left in the warehouses, guess what? Your forklift drivers, because I drive a forklift at work. I'm going to be out of work because guess what? The trucks are not bringing in the freight for us to unload, offload, and then we got to reload them so they can go out to your grocery stores.
Right. And then it's like another thing that they were doing when they're charging, charging extra taxes on top of diesel price. So to where certain grocery stores or certain warehouses or corporation had to put up their products because of what they're being charged.
Yeah. Yep. That's going to lead to the country's going to go into inflation because the government they're not going to raise your wages, right? They should be raising your wages, but what are they doing? No, they're cutting back, right? And see, people are not catching it. They're cut back on things like Trump even did it. He cut back on student grants and all of this stuff, but then he's putting that money into their war or whatever, right? Well, here in Australia, right? They doing the opposite. They cutting back on certain things, and then they're putting taxes. You just paying more taxes. You see what I'm saying? So you can't trust this devil. Now, funny enough, when you go down, it tells you level 3, which is where we're currently kind of at, because it says ongoing supply disruptions mean we will focus on getting fuel to where it's needed most and adopt voluntary practical measures to limit fuel use. I want y'all to think back to COVID, because COVID, they had stages. If you are an essential worker, you can go out and work, right? If you need to exercise, jog or whatever, we'll allow you 1 hour a day. That was some bullshit.
Yep.
You was allowed 1 hour. That's how strict it was here. You was allowed 1 hour to walk your dog down the street. You have to carry your monkey ass right back to the crib. So that's what they mean in a subtle way when they talk about they're going to put provisions and measures in place. So just think of it like this. Like they said, they tested this theory about a week ago here, and they said, you know what, we might have to start introducing no more than $40 a liter at the pump.
Which
So that,
I believe,
yeah,
I
go
believe
ahead.
they're gonna end up doing that.
Yeah, they're gonna end up doing that.
You know,
They're
because
gonna
remember
end up.
this. It's like I remember with the C-19 before those lockdowns came in. They said, "Don't worry, don't panic. It's not gonna happen." But we're not happening. Exactly
Yeah,
what they told you not to
they
panic
came
about or
in.
worry about.
Yep, because it got worse, right? With the whole Daniel Andrews situation, everybody remember that, right? So the same thing is going to happen again right now. They got people in key positions that's going to feed you this bullshit of fear mongering. Now everybody panic buying. They already telling people, look, if you're smart, we got about 2 weeks left. Go and get everything you can get now. Why they saying that? Because the same thing that happened with COVID, where everybody was losing their damn mind with the toilet paper and everything, that's about to happen right now. The only difference is you worrying about more than just fucking toilet paper, because you worrying about bread, eggs, water, milk, right? Matter of fact, let's get that.
Yeah, I had our precept on hold.
Yeah, bring it out, bring it out.
Yeah, this is the book of Sirach chapter 39. That's the one, right?
Yeah, that's right here. Yep, that's the spirit.
Beautiful. Sirach chapter 39 and verse 20. You want me to start from verse 26 or 25?
You start at verse 25.
It says, for the good are good things created for the beginning, so evil things for the sinners. It says 26, the principal things for the whole use of a man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of grape, and oil, and clothing. All these things are good for the godly, so to the sinners they are turned into evil.
Yeah. So in other words, all of those things that was just outlined, okay, Yahweh Shema Shah know we need those. They're good to the godly, okay, because we know how to distribute it. We know what to get use out of whatever it is that we need.
Yep.
But the moment these resources are put into the hands of the wicked, they turn evil because they think, like the brother brought out, going into what was that in that you brought out earlier, going into their evil plans, 2 Corinthians 2:11, their evil scheme.
Yep.
So when they're out there plotting, okay, they look at it and say, hey, remember, World Economic Forum come in and said, what? You're going to own nothing and you're going to be happy.
That's right.
So when everything gets stripped from you and you see what's going on with the oil, if they get control, which me and the brother was going into it earlier, remember, Trump already took control of the Panama Canal and the whole Venezuela oil situation. Now he's trying to gain control of the Straits of Hormuz. That's why he put a blockade.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I just let the brother know before we went live, the beloved Elder Malcolm, he's the first to bring it out, showed him the video. This motherfucker going over there now, and he's trying to make a deal with Indonesia, because if they can sign an agreement with Indonesia, guess what? They now control the Strait of Malacca.
And they're trying to fuck China over.
Yep. They're trying to fuck, which is not only going to cause that World War III to happen, but guess what? If you get control of all three choke points, Panama Canal, Strait of Hormuz, and Strait of Malacca, oh man, you talk about global domino effect out of there. Mm-hmm. And this is plain as day, man. But see, Jake is not dancing to the tune of the beat, man. Jake gonna wake up one morning and realize he ain't gonna be able to go to the corner store. Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle shit finna be shut down. Okay, Walgreens shut down. All right, no more Kool-Aid, Jake. No more Capri Sun.
It's gonna start by that, your chicken and waffle being super expensive.
Yep.
Gonna
charge you $40, $50 for a plate.
And then
no
from
more.
There,
yep.
Going from being expensive, it's gonna be gone.
Yeah. Exactly right, man. Let me get these precepts off the comment board. Shalom, y'all Bashim Shabaraka Thought to the Akim on the comment board. All right. This is the beloved brother Kazak Ben Yahawada, posted Isaiah 10:1. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. Yeah. Okay. And matter of fact, I just found out today at work that the Republicans, I believe it was, they just tried to you know what? Watch this. Hopefully you can hear this. I'm gonna just play it. Let me see. Hopefully this is it. Yeah. Because let me see. I think I saved it. Here it is right here.
Breaking fucking news. Rokana, the one that originally reported that the Republicans had called a secret vote at 12 a.m. midnight tonight or this morning, whatever you want to say, to vote on FISA, the authorization to basically do surveillance on American citizens, did not pass. And this is what Rokana had to say. Well, first he said this: they have called us back at midnight to cast a secret vote to reauthorize FISA while America sleeps. A yes vote gives Trump more power to surveil Americans. Every Democrat must vote no. Everyone who loves the Constitution must vote no. Rokana said, we just defeated Johnson's effort to sneak through a 5-year FISA authorization tonight. Now they will have to fight it in the daylight tomorrow. So that means the nays won. It did not go through. That means they are going to 100% address this in a few hours when everybody gets back up. The Republicans definitely tried that shit, but, you know, apparently it did not go through. And this is kind of important. So no sleep for me.
So basically, in a nutshell, what he said was, while everybody was sleeping, this was 7 hours ago, while everybody was asleep, while the sun went down in America, the Republicans, bitch ass, tried to sneak through a surveillance bill that would give the Trump administration full access to surveil all 50 states. And luckily for them, for right now, because the shit is going to pass eventually, but for right now, it didn't go through. So now if you're just waking up in Babylon and Great America, you're about to watch firsthand on news, people arguing to vote against this bill. And this is, brother brought it out, Isaiah 10. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. You can't make this up even if you try.
And then on top of that, he put up Proverbs 4:16. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and that was done what? In the middle of the night.
Yep, in the middle of the night. Yeah, you can't tell me this ain't Yahweh Shemel Shah. You can't tell me.
Yeah.
For they sleep not, except they've done mischief. You just heard it out of the man's mouth. They tried to pass this bill right up under the Americans' noses. How much more do we have to tell you guys, man? Jake don't want to listen.
It says, and their sleep is taken away unless they call Psalm 2:4. And guess what? That's there already, man.
Yep.
It says, verse 17, it says, for they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. And, you know, in that wine of violence, it goes into the, you know, philosophy, man. Or their words, you know, like the scripture says, which I got it here, if you don't mind me getting it, Akia.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this is the book of Psalms 64 real quick. Psalms chapter 64, and I'm gonna start from verse 3. It says, who with their tongue like a sword, right? And bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, man. Okay. And yeah, so that's these devils, man. Through those you know, laws they be passing, through those, you know, words they be using. You know, that shit is really you know, when you tap into it, man, it's terrible. It's fucking violent. It's death, man. You know. It says that they might shoot in secret at the perfect. And guess what? Like the individual the brother just played here before. You know, that shit was done in secret. It was done when everybody was asleep. Okay? So that they might shoot in secret at the perfect, and the perfect are who they elect, the Israelites. All right?
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning, You know, you don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, what the fuck is this? And we didn't vote for this. We didn't agree for this.
Exactly.
You know, it says suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately, right? Commune to lay snares privately. Okay.
Man. Yep.
It says, who shall see them? They search out iniquities that accomplish a diligent search. Both the inner thought of every one of them, and their heart is deep. And that's easy for you, man. This devil, everything he does is not by coincidence. There's a deep and diligent search behind it, man.
That's right.
Okay. He man, before I think you said it before. When this devil, before he does anything and makes it public, he brings any laws in, and he makes, like he mandates it, he will fucking run games on it. Apply in certain countries, which is Australia, New Zealand. Let's try on these puppets. No saying we are puppets, but me and you and the rest of the believers, let's try on these fucking zombies over here. Let's try on these fucking zombies here. Okay, whose life is, because I'm gonna be real. Like, Australians are living a better life than any of the Edomites outside of here. To be honest with you, man.
They are. Yeah.
This is like the Elder Sharma says. This was one of the last land they got. This is new.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's only 200 and something years old that they've been over here.
Yep. So when people here are still what's the word, man? What's the word? Basically, when you can't get up, when you can't get up and fight, it's just there's a word to it, man. Man, what's the word? Like, you basically, you know how them people be getting put on drugs and shit, heavy medication.
Yeah.
There's a word that they use, but I just can't remember the word. But anyway, you basically just like you dead, but you walking, you still alive. That's Australians for you, man.
It's almost like they're in the days. It's like being in the days, like you awake, but at the same time you're not really awake to know what's really going on. So you just life is just passing you by, pretty much.
Yep, that's Australians for you.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones who are waking up right now, they're making noises, man.
Yep,
they're making noises, and which I believe, I could be wrong, but I feel like Australia is gonna be the first country to really shut down the fucking social media, man.
I can see it. Oh, which, by the way, since he brought that up, they just lost Parliament here, just lost in New South Wales.
Yeah, the brother docile, that's the word, docile.
Yeah, docile. Parliament just lost the battle of trying to take away the protest rights. So everything that they did against those Palestinians and everything, when they was marching and stuff against what was going on with Israel, it's just been declared that the government was in the wrong.
There you go.
They're in the wrong. So it's funny that that's a coincidence that they just try to pass in the House of Representatives over in the States, and then this happens in New South Wales. So it's a lot going on, man. This devil, his deceitfulness. Hey, that's why the Yahweh Shah said, if so much as they should not deceive the very elect, the elect should not be deceived. Roughly paraphrasing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why, our job as the watchmen, this is what we're supposed to be doing. Okay. Now we might not be everywhere, but brothers, wherever we are in the world, we're on top of it to the best of our ability. All right. The Rakakwadash, when the Holy Spirit sets in us to be able to search these matters out, measuring the time diligently within itself, we report these things to you, Akim, to keep you update of what's really going on.
That's right.
Brother put earlier I wanted to get where is it? Brother, because I posted Isaiah 51:14, the captive exile hasteneth that he may be loosed, and that he should not die in a pit, nor that his bread should fail. Okay. Then you got to be in that spirit, to hasten to flee these times, man. All right. That's even in the Apocrypha. All right. The Lord said, all my people, make thy ready to thy battle, be even as pilgrims on the earth.
That's right.
So hearing this, energy lockdown now, be prepared through the spirit that if shit goes down and stuff, you gotta be ready to go, man. Okay.
Because
yeah.
I was gonna say this energy lockdown, it ain't gonna be a fucking drug, man.
No, it ain't, man. It's gonna test a lot of people. You thought you went through some, during COVID. You ain't seen nothing yet, man. Because COVID, that was just a test run. Now you finna really feel it, man. Because like the brother said earlier, the resources is on the line this time.
Yeah, we read in the book of Surah chapter 39, 26. Those things are being taken away from you, man.
Yep.
And that's what you need as a man, as a human being.
Yep. Because see, only thing Esau did during COVID was he just fucked with your livelihood like your job. That was like the worst. Like, hey, if you don't come in, if you don't get shot number 2, we gotta let you go.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you still had electricity, the fuel. The fuel was right there. It was just like, that shit was still right there in front of you.
It was all right there. But see now, all right, this devil telling you, we're gonna give you measures for the pump. You ain't gonna be able to trade. You're gonna have to car share. You're gonna have to energy provide saving and stuff. Because who was that? One country put in a curfew. The whole entire country went pitch black. They got a curfew that all lights have to be out by 10 p.m.
Yeah, some country did some shit like that. Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
And then,
yep, you got it.
IHP cases week. Oh, that's conspiracy theory, man. All right, bro.
Yeah.
All right, man.
But the brother brought this out earlier. This is a quote from this devil here, Mayor Amshel Rothschild, and he said, "Give me control of a nation's money, and I care not who makes his laws." Because the end game at the end of the day is that chip, man. They don't give a damn how you implement their end game as long as the shit is implemented. As long as you get the shit done. They don't care how you do it. Okay. You just better make sure that you get the shit done, or you'll be excommunicated out and they'll get another puppet in to replace you just to get the job done.
That's right.
That's how these devils work, man. But no, let Tazariak tell it. Sitting up here, got a question about the chip and said, well, you know what? I ain't, really versatile in this, so I'm gonna go ahead and let my brother answer for me. Here it is. You call yourself a teacher in Israel, but you don't know one of the major prophecies, bro.
The king of debate.
Sitting up there bullshitting, man. You talking about one of the major here it is. Yahweh Shemel Shai, the gate, because remember, it's written in our law, okay, that the secrets are revealed not only to a service to prophets, but also to the children of Israel.
That's right, yeah.
Those things that are made known is made known to us, didn't say the other nations. So here it is. Yeah, go ahead.
Going back into the law, there's another law that to where you can't mislead your neighbor to go ahead and sin. That's you're not supposed to do. That's
a very good one. Yeah,
that's in the book of Exodus. So Tazaria being an expert in the Bible, the king of the king of debating, or the debate or whatever. How the fuck do you don't apply those precepts? How the fuck does he apply those precepts unto himself, man?
Yeah.
Doesn't the scripture says that you're supposed to give an answer as if somebody asks a question, give an answer to it?
Yep. Or if not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth. That's in the Apocrypha. If thou knowest, answer thy neighbor. If not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth. Meaning you don't even say anything. All right. Because what?
You should have shut the fuck.
Yahweh Shah said, what's that, Matthew 12, where he said every idle word should be held account of in the day of judgment.
That's right, yeah. Basically, like, cause right, if you don't know it, or you say you don't know it, and so shut the fuck up. Don't give it to your little. Don't give it to a man below you. And how does he know it, but you don't know it, and you're supposed to be ahead of him?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're supposed to be this big thing, right? And then, but you calling your little, a man under you, to answer the question that is being asked.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? It's like you go, just give an example. It's like, okay, you ask a question from my pastor Ha, or one of the pastors. They're like, nah, man, go to that brother over there, the young brother over there. I don't know it, but I don't want to speak on that because that's how this and this that. But he knows it. He'll give you an answer. That's a double-minded. That's also like there's no. So how does he know, but you don't know it, but you're supposed to be on the same accord?
Through, man.
The fuck?
Through.
Confusion.
And that's why it's preached upon here in Great Millstone. If you're in Great Millstone, okay, every brother has to, we all have to be on one accord. You know what I'm saying? And Elder Ariah, he did a video about 2 weeks ago going into that about the importance of rank and the rank. You saw that video where he said in so many words that the rank is not there to boast any brother or whatever. The rank is actually there to teach you, and it helps the younger brothers who are turned into officers or whatever to gain experience on how to judge matters rightly.
That's right. Yeah.
But when you have dudes who are so hasty in the spirit that if they do something where they have to get corrected, and because they have that worldly mentality that they didn't leave behind when coming into the truth, and all of a sudden they get upset. You know what I'm talking about? They get upset. You know what I'm saying? When they get rebuked, yeah, man, I'm finna go over here to the elder and yell, no, man. The elder don't need to sit up there and take on more bullshit than what he got to deal with. That's why you got officers in the camp. That's why there's a ranking file in the camp. You sit over here and you're taking away the fucking experience from the officers, the brothers that are coming up, that are up and coming, right? Because you don't want to show the due diligence and respect for them to know how to judge the matter rightly. So what the fuck do? You go and run to the elder, bro, because you got a better relationship with him.
Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because I was listening to it was Elder Yeshua and the rest of the elders from Jim Dallas and the young brothers that were doing a live lesson Wednesday out time, and I tuned into it at work. But then even yesterday when I was driving, I had to go just watch the whole video over again. Then in our video he mentioned like the importance of needing milk from when you are born, the importance of needing it. And he gave an example why it's also important, the importance of needing milk in this truth, because when you don't get that milk in this truth, you're trying to fucking skip over and jump into the deep things. What happens is you start fucking choking on those heavy breakdowns, which that's going to the heavy, the meat. You start, dropping on that, throwing out, vomiting and shit, and when you get rebuked, your S is running back into it. Christianity.
Yep, happens all the time.
All the time. The important and the importance of milk is that's the importance of what going through that whole the understanding of leadership, man. Applying precepts on ourselves.
That's why Elder Apostle Sahara always says you got to eat this roll, eat the whole roll. That's the importance. You eat the whole roll by you have to sup, you have to get the milk first. You know what I'm saying? Humble yourself down, read, study, be up under the tutelage, man. Get the understanding. You got to crawl before you walk.
Yeah, and be willing to get rebuked.
Yeah,
that's correction, man. Because ain't no man like even I'm pretty sure the apostle will tell you, man, when we got rebuked, we here. It didn't kill us. It was correction. It was love. You know, it says open rebuke is better than secret love, right?
Yep. I remember this is Elder Apostle Rakah. He said to Bishop Taz, this is when he was young. This is when they was coming up, when they was back at the school. And he said, this is when he was learning about the dietary law. And he was finna go get some shrimp. If I recall, this is the Elder Apostle Rakah. He told this story. And it was someone on the lines where he said, Bishop, it was Bishop Taz, I think. No, or Bishop, it was either Bishop Taz or Bishop Ayathan. And he told him, brother, you can't be eating that shrimp. You got to put it down. You can't be eating that shrimp.
I don't know, it was Big God. It was the Elder Apostle Big God, one of the Bishop Big God.
The water.
Yeah.
And he told that account because he was just like, the apostle said, he was just, learning, still coming in and everything. And he didn't know, but he said he took the correction and he stopped eating shrimp immediately. It wasn't nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
He threw that shit out. It wasn't nothing to talk about. But the brother Kazak had posted Baruch chapter 4, verse 4. It says, "O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to power are made known unto us." Okay, and that's Yapa.
Can you hear me up?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, beautiful, yeah. Somebody trying to call my phone, bro. Like, I don't know why.
Oh no, we just about finished anyway. You got any closing remarks?
I was gonna go back to Psalm 64 real quick.
Yep.
Psalm 64, and I'm gonna read verse 7 says, but the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow, and that's what eventually is gonna happen. Those ICBMs they're gonna be open and be shot, or upon on this on Esau, especially starting with America and them Gararats. It says, suddenly should they be wounded. Verse 8. So they should make their own so they should make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. And that's going into one of the articles the brother pulled up. No article, but the whole program of what East is going through, and also going through those two videos, those individuals bringing us some like beautiful information. That's Esau. If those individuals happen to be Edomites, that's two Edomites finishing up on their own kind. Okay, on what agenda they're trying to run on. It says so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And hey, when you go into those comment boats, people are waking up to know what the fuck Esau is doing. And we're talking about these regular Edomites who are waking up. They're all trying to come up with a solution, which that solution is to oppose the N.W.O. That's running away from this N.W.O. That's fighting against it.
Yep.
That's fleeing away from it. That's these regular Edomites, man. That's why there's going to be civil war in America, which I believe there's going to be a big chaos of Australia as well, of these Edomites fighting against the elite agenda. That's in some form of fleeing away from it. No, sitting down, be like, what? Let's actually sit down and bow down and be with this agenda, because this agenda is to help us as what this fucking elite and the papists are pushing. That the new 2030 agenda is to help the earth, the climate change, and fix everything and bring peace. No, they're like, nah, man, this ain't it. This shit is gonna. This is killing us. This is killing the whole earth. This is taking away our freedom. And that's my I'm gonna take on the Akia.
Yeah, it's we basically, when it all comes down to it, prophecy tells us that this devil is going to cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma. All right, and ultimately, this is what we're telling the hopeful elect to prepare their minds for, because it's about to get tight, man.
That's right.
Okay, the scripture says it's about to be a time like no other. Jacob's trouble, man. That's right. All right. And as the brother said, that goes also back to Revelation, the 12th chapter, where it talks about the devil shall come down upon thee having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. So you see, that's why You think that Jake sitting by the screen, oh, okay, they got peace talks. Like right now, it's supposed to be a 10-day ceasefire deal. Mind you, Mandi or Morandi, however you say his name, from Iran, he said, yo, that ceasefire bullshit, that don't even mean anything because Israel is going to turn right around and re-escalate the war again. That's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't even, he said out of his own mouth, he said, we don't trust this ceasefire bullshit. Basically, when they sat down, I think it was sometime earlier this week, did you know the foreign minister, they knew ahead of time what the U.S. was going to try to do. So what happened was when they left the room, the foreign minister didn't even go back on the original plane he came in. They had a decoy. They had another plane come in, which he entered, and then he went. And instead of going all the way back where they potentially could have shot his plane down, he took a detour route and landed somewhere in the desert of Iran and took the train in to an underground base.
Yeah, because they know how ISIS is moving right now, man.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I got Akia. Anything else you got?
No, that's it. And you know, we can come back tomorrow and type
yeah, definitely.
Type more into the, you know, more into it, you know, tomorrow.
Yep. So that's pretty much it for us, Akim, and a few Aquaf listening and learning. And we're going to close out by giving all praise, glory, and honor be to Yahweh. Double honors once again to beloved apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect, the tabernacle of David. And it's on to the next Lord's will. To the brothers back home, Ashar Shabbat Shalom.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom.